Well, we've had the invasion of the spiny water flea and the fishhook water flea in 2014 and 2018, and we've seen some of the impacts of that. I have a lot of work going on that. Biggest concern on invasive species most recently is the round goby, potentially making it up through the Mohawk Valley, connection of the Hudson River through the Champlain Canal to Lake Champlain. And that's something the Basin Program and others are working on to try to, either try to find a way to prevent that or ameliorate it. But there's concern that round goby will get to Lake Champlain, and unfortunately, we may find them here in the next few years if we don't try to do something.
We tagged along with the U.S. Geological Survey, Scott George and his crew last summer, and yes, in the Champlain Canal had made it around to the first lock, and I think they're just sort of keeping an eye on it every year to wonder how long it may take for it to eventually reach the southern tip of Lake Champlain.
And that's a good question, is the ecology of the fish and how will it move, and that's concerning to know that it's that close. It's a very similar story as we had with the spiny water flea back in 2014. That was also found in the lock system, eventually made it to Lake Champlain. It came from the Hudson River from Sacandaga Lake. It was a pretty long trip for a lake plankton to make it down the Hudson, get in the feeder water for the canal, get in the canal, potentially make it to the lake. So yeah, unfortunately those pathways exist, and but yeah, the goby, I mean, eventually it's going to move around. It's going to swim through the locks if we just give it enough time to do so.
Lake Champlain Basin Program, working with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, still trying to find potential solutions for the Champlain Canal, whether there could be some sort of barrier put in there, but that's still in the works to see if they might be able to try to find a way to block the round goby and other invasives from using that route to get up to Lake Champlain.
Yeah, I think there's barrier discussions going on now, and there's also, I think some plans even for more serious engineering and design features of the high point in the locks, where they could actually prevent the water from the Hudson from interacting with the water that's flowing to Lake Champlain, which would effectively seriously reduce the chance of any invasive coming from the Hudson over into Lake Champlain. I think there's some ideas on that too that are out there. Hopefully we can enact some of those and start basically keep some of these things from coming in.